let's look at some of these word problems. After declining between 1940 and 1980, the number of multi-generational households has been increasing. So there's a function they gave you. And notice it's really kind of a yucky function, so it's probably a calculator problem. They're talking about the number of households, and this is in millions, X years after 1940. So in what year were there 50? So they want to know, when does this equation equal 50? So 50 equals 0.012 x squared minus 0.583x plus 35.721. So you're going to subtract 50 and you're going to get 0 on one side. And you'll get 0 equals 0.012 x squared minus 0.583x. And then you'll type that in your calculator. And that's minus 14.279. And now you're going to have to go to your graphing calculator. All right, so go ahead and type this in. 0.012 x squared minus 0.583x minus 14.279. So hit graph, and my graph's all messed up. But mine is actually in the window, which is nice. I bet if you went to Zoom 6, it wouldn't have been there. Yeah, Zoom 6, you kind of just see this little piece, so it's going to go way over here. So I'm going to change my window to maybe go all the way to, let's say, 100 for the X max. And that's probably where I was before. And now I can find that x-intercept. So you'll do second, calculate. We're looking for the 0, number 2. So tell your calculator where to look. Hit the left arrow until you're on the left side of it. And I already am on, maybe I'm not. Where am I at? Yeah, I'm in the negatives. Let's see, it's kind of off the chart there. There it is. Hit enter. Hit the right arrow until you're on the right side of it. Enter, and then you can guess. And you got to be really careful here because x is 66.48. So this is where I messed up earlier doing this problem with somebody else. X is 66.48. They want me to round down, so that's 66, but they want to know what year it is. And X is years after 1940, so you're going to have to take that 1940 plus 66. And you get 2006 as an answer. Okay, so that one was pretty tricky. What's going on here? The diagonal of a TV is 52 inches long. So you have a TV. The diagonal is 52. Its length is 28 inches more than the height. So if this is a height, the length is 28 more. That's h plus 28. Find the dimensions of the TV set. All right, so we can do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, I think is what I would do here. So we can do h squared plus h plus 28 squared equals 52 squared. I'm actually going to view an example here. I don't believe this is one on the test, but I'm going to view an example to make sure that's just how they wanted us to do it. Yep. It just didn't seem like some of our, because it's going to give us a quadratic. That's why. It says it didn't seem like some of our other problems. All right. So that will give me h squared plus. This will give me, because you have to double distribute. And if you need to do it over here, you can. That'll give me h squared plus 28h plus 28. So 28 and 28 is 56h plus 28 times 28, 784. That's a 5. Equals 52 squared, which is 2704. So we're going to get 0 on one side, and that's 2h squared plus 56h plus, actually won't be plus at all, because you're going to minus the 2704. So 784 minus 2704 is minus 1920 equals 0. We're going to go ahead and divide everything by 2 here to make things a little bit nicer. And I get h squared plus 56 divided by 2 is 28. minus 1920 divided by 2 is 960. You can either graph it or you could do quadratic formula. Let's go ahead and graph it. Y equals x squared plus 28x minus 960. Okay. It doesn't look very good, does it? Let's go zoom 6 and see what happens. Y equals x squared plus 28x minus 960. Let's try a zoom fit. Let's try a zoom 0. There we go. So at least see some of it. I'm going to go to the right more. So now I'm going to take my window and I'll go over to like 20. And let's take my Y max. I definitely need to go up to the positives here. I'm going to go over past 20. Let's go to 50 for the X max, and then let's go up for Y max. Let's go up to 20 or 20. I don't know what I'm doing actually. I'm just kind of guessing. There we go. I gotta go up a little higher. Window, let's go up to 100. Oh, I guess 1,000. There it is. So we're looking for this point. So second, calculate 0. The left arrow, the right arrow, and it looks like x equals 20 is the h. X equals 20 is the h, so then the other will be 48. So 20 by 48. So the height is 20 and the length is 48. I don't think that is one that's on the test. I don't remember it very well. Usually I remember them a little bit better. Okay, let's try this one. One number is 9 greater than another number. If you multiply them, you get 22. So what do you have? If you have x and then x plus 9 for the other number, it's going to equal 22. So go ahead and distribute. X squared plus 9x. We'll subtract 22 to get 0. This will factor. If you make a negative 22, 1 and negative 22, 2 and negative 11 gives me negative 9. So negative 2 and positive 11 is what I'm going to want. X minus 2 and x plus 11 equals 0. So x equals 2 or x equals negative 11. They want a pair of numbers which are both positive. Well, this one's positive. So if x equals 2, what will the other number have to be? 2 plus 9, which is 11. So one of them will be 2 and 11. And the other ones, which will be negative 11. And then if you add 9 to negative 11, you get negative 2. All right. So on this one, these are getting into the calculator problems. We are going to find the vertex. Well, the vertex, I guess they didn't give me an equation, did they? Do they want me to say HK? Let's see, I guess they want me to look at the graph. Looks like it's at negative 2, up 1. That's what they wanted me to put. They want me to put negative 2, 1. They want you to look at that graph really closely and then put it down. Negative 2, 1. Okay, axis of symmetry is x equals whatever the vertex x was. That's negative 2. The range is the down, the up, the smallest to the biggest for the y values. So you're looking at y to infinity. And they want to know what the minimum is. It is a minimum, and it is the y value. That minimum is 1. This one you're just going to type in your graphing calculator and accurately graph. Another one, use your graphing calculator, get some points and graph it. This one wants all the points. Again, let's go ahead and do this one together. X squared plus 10x plus 28. Y equals x squared plus 10x plus 28. And they want to know what the vertex is. So I'm going to do a zoom 6 this time. They want to know what that point is. So you will do second, calculate, and it's a minimum, which is 3. You'll hit the left arrow until you're on the left side of it. You'll hit the right arrow until you're on the right side. And then a little guess. And it's -5, 3. So my vertex we get from using my calculator is -5, 3. Now we got to do all these extra parts. Axis of symmetry goes through the vertex and the x value, so that's -5. It's a minimum because it was smiling, so that's a minimum value. And what was that minimum value? It was the y value, which is 3. And then what graph was it? I feel like it was this one. This one is very similar. Remember, that's the same as 1/2 x squared, but it's very similar to the last one. Just use your calculator to help you. Just find the graph. You could type it in your calculator if you want, but this went to the right 2 and it's frowny face. So which one of these is right 2 and frowny face? That would be A. This one is going to go to the left 2, up 1, and it's going to be a little narrower. It's hard to tell that it's narrower because of the scale, but which one of these went to the left 2 and up 1 and is smiling? Left 2, up 1 is smiling. You definitely can tell it's narrow, actually. That's your D. Left 3, up 6, and a little wider. So left 3, up 6, and it's a little wider. Can't quite tell it's wide again because of the scale changing. Left 7, down 1 and frowny. Left 7, down 1 and frowny. Has to be this guy. You can barely tell it's down 1 because of the scale. And on this one, you'll type into your calculator just like the other one. Second, calculate. This time it will be a maximum because it will be a frowny graph. Calculator problem. All right, so let's look at this one. I feel like this one might be on the test. A rancher needs to enclose 2 adjacent rectangular corrals, one for cattle, one for sheep. If the river forms one side of the corral, there's the river, and you have 390 total, find the largest area you can be. Okay, so let's call this X. Well, if this is X, then this is X, and this is also X. We don't know how much we use, but we know that this length here will be 390 minus whatever I already used, which is 3x. You will need to show that work on your test. So what is area? Area is base times height. So that's just x times 390 minus 3x. And they want the largest area, so they're asking you to find the maximum with your calculator. So we'll type this in. Y equals x times 390. Oh, that's not what I wrote. X times 390 minus 3x. Okay, if you do zoom 6, you're not going to be able to see it. Remember, we're talking kind of up to 390, so let's go ahead and change my window. Let's go over to 400. And let's go up for area. Let's go up to 1,000. See if that helps. Oh, that was bad. All right, so I was way off there. So let's change my window back. Oh, I put the 4,000. I meant to say 400. Okay, and I need to go higher. Do you see how I need to go higher? So let's take our graph higher. I'm gonna go 1,000. Let's go to 10,000. Ooh, too many again. It's been a little touchy. Ah! Now let's graph. Almost. Still got to go higher. I'll try 12,000. A little higher still. Now let's go to 22. So many zeros. There we go. So let's find the maximum. Second, calculate maximum. Enter. Right arrow. Enter. Enter. So it's 65. What's that say? 12,675. 65, 12,675. So let's write that down. 65, 12,675. The area is the y value, and that's what they want, the 12,675. Okay, that was tricky. Hardest thing to do is find on your calculator. Just really play around with that window until you can find it. Okay, the sum of the base and height of a triangle is 28. We talked about this. So if you take the base and the height, it gets 28. So if this is x, then this has to be 28 minus x. And how do you find the area of a triangle? That's 1/2 base times height. So I at least need to see that. And then they're going to find the maximum. So we'll just type it into your calculator and find the max. So y equals 0.5x times 28 minus x. I'm going to go to Zoom 6. I think that might work. Not quite. I need to go to the right sum and up. So let's go to 50 and let's go up to 100. There we are. Okay. So second, calculate maximum. Move my cursor so it's on the left. Enter. On the right. Enter, enter. So it's 1498. So let's look what we got here. 14 is the height, and then 28 minus 14 is the base. Basically, the answer is half every time, but you will need to show me a little bit of work. All right, we're going to stop there. I'll do the rest on another video.